Hey everybody, it's me, Unit Z, and today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I am going to be making a review of all the One Piece content this week. Now, I will try to leave timestamps for what I'm talking about, but first I'll be going over the episode 1001 and then ending it off with 1033. So, talking about, 1001, I actually got a really good kick out of this episode, especially when, I was a little, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I was a little bit surprised how they switched the opening back to Dream On, which, feels like it's good that they only use the "We Are" opening for episode 1000, so it gives it, much more weight and it makes it feel more special. But it would have been nice seeing it, for like the next 25 episodes until they finally get a new opening. Which, side tangent, we've had Dream On since Wano, since the prison arc in Wano Act 2. So, and yeah, it did get a reanimation, but new animated scenes, but still, it's like, I feel like we gotta, especially, I think we're gonna get a new opening probably before we get to the Supernovas versus the Yonko, which I'm really excited for. That's my prediction though, so don't take that as, facts. Anyway, so, this episode was titled a plot to eliminate Queen. That's not the full title, but you know what, it might as well be that. So basically what happens is, if you read the manga, you have Queen, Who's Who, Hawkins, and Drake talking about a traitor, but before that we find out that Drake was trying to convince Hawkins to betray Kaido as well, and then Who's Who tries to convince Drake to betray Queen, but then it's another betrayal. So this was very, very heavy. All of it, constant. It was just insanity almost. However, we did get some good detail. Side note: Who's Who's design I would have preferred if it was a black jumpsuit instead of red, and a black mask instead of a red. The coloring seems a bit off to me. Granted, I am very excited to see his hybrid form, but or not even just normal mythic, even just normal ancient Zoan. So there was a lot of betrayal in this, and something which I found was very interesting was that Hawkins stated that the man with a 1% chance of survival was Drake. But in the manga, Hawkins didn't reveal that, so there has been much speculation on it. However, I truly believe that Oda just kind of forgot. I gotta be honest. I think that he just, thought, because this even happened with the magnet fruit, or kids fruit. Oda thought he revealed it before that, and he didn't. So I think that all the speculation was kind of for naught, and to be fair, a lot of people did speculate it was Drake, it just wasn't confirmed, so this is more just, pushing how everyone is, confirming that. Which, hey, I mean, it means everyone should watch the anime, no matter what, because, yeah, the manga's good, and the anime is good. Now, the manga, I would say right now, especially where we are in the manga, is slightly better, but the anime extends everything and gives us extra little bits of information and lore, which is great, and just sort of expands everything. So after Drake gets found out and told he has a 1% chance, we see that we actually see, and I don't remember this being in the manga, but it could have been, Drake was having a flashback to Kobe talking, and Kobe was talking about how great Luffy is, basically. Because, you know, Kobe is Luffy's #1 fanboy, right up there with Bartolomeo and Boa. It's great. So, basically what he does is he chucks a grenade at Queen after being threatened with torture. Then he jumps out of the building and then proceeds to engage with the Number Giants along with Luffy. And something that's really, really good is Luffy transforming into Bound Man. My goodness, when I was watching this, I'm like, oh, the animation is really good in this episode. Like, I'm not kidding. I think Wano might have the best animation, not just of One Piece, but honestly, most shonen sometimes. Like, I'm not even... When Wano looks good, it looks good. Like, it looks even better than Black Clover or My Hero. I haven't seen... so we'll have to see what the Bleach anime does. And for some reason, Naruto has always had, like, the best animation. I don't know. I do know why, like, but, man, it's up there. So, yeah. And also, they did change the dialogue slightly. So, instead of talking about, when Luffy transforms into Gear 4, Bound Man, they say, oh, he looks like a guardian deity. Instead, this time they said he looked more like the fire god, or some have probably connected the dots not right now, the sun god, which, you know, we found out a little bit of information in that one chapter, and now we're finding out a hell of a lot more. It's great. So, overall thoughts on the episode, fantastic. I loved the episode a hell of a lot. And I would give it a 8 out of 10. Now keep in mind this is a scale of episodes, where episodes scale differently than manga chapters. For example, my last One Piece chapter review, I think I gave that like a 7 out of 10, and in my latest My Hero chapter review, I think I gave that a 7 out of 10 too. So me giving this an 8 isn't necessarily saying that it's better than them, but compared to other anime episodes, it's, you know what, no, actually 7 out of 10, and I'm the 7. I'm number 7, but hey, it makes sense because 70% on a test, you know, that's not an A. It's, I think it's like a high C, so, you know, pretty good, very close to, you know, making a good all-rounder, but there are some big plot points that don't really happen, or need to happen within an episode for you to consider it like, you know, an 8 or a 9 out of a 10. So 7 is where you're not dissatisfied with an episode. And then 5 is like you watch it, you don't really plan to look back on it, but you still have fond memories of it. And then below a 5 is, you know, just felt like a waste of your time. Speaking of wasting your time, I won't waste it any further. Time to get into the thing that everyone is talking about right now. Chapter 1033. So, basically, the fight between Zoro and King continues. We see some great attacks from King. In other words, doesn't really do anything. But we do get a flashback from Zoro, and we go to Shimotsuki Village. Sorry if I mispronounce things. And the old man that he met is actually the creator of Enma, who everyone has been foreshadowing. And side note, people have been talking about how this is either going to be someone, like Zoro is going to be related in some way to the legacy of Wano, or if it's just going to be a swords. Granted, I think either way kind of works, because no matter what, even if he was just a normal swordsman, not even like a guy who took stuff from, not even a guy who had Ryoma's sword or anything. He still had ties to Tama and the shoot, I forgot his name. Odin's the guy in Act 2 with the blue hair. I'll try to find a visual of him. But yeah, him. I think that no matter what, Zoro going into this arc had connections to Wano, and it's just really interesting to see those finally sort of play out. Also, it gives meaning to the swords that Zoro had his 100. I think it was his 100th duel of Kuina, which is great, just because it makes East Blue even more nostalgic, which is exactly what we want and how we want it. So I'm all here for it. And it's great to see. And we find out that Zoro is being tested by Enma about how much haki Zoro is willing to use and, the force of the will. Which also might, in turn, kind of buff Odin, if that makes sense. Like, this sort of brings into the fact that comparing how much... Odin never seemed to struggle with Enma, not even in the slightest. Even when he was knocked out, we never saw Enma take his haki. So, does that mean that Odin just had a ridiculous amount of haki? Like, we're talking, well, Emperor level haki. Which makes sense because, he was the guy in the anime who, was able to make Whitebeard use a Quake Punch, which he doesn't like to use unless he has to. So, you see all of that, and it just makes you think, damn, Odin's even more powerful. There's this legendary aura behind him that Zoro is just now bringing into. Also, Zoro was using Conqueror's haki to boost his attacks again, which is crazy. He's embedding it into his swords, all three of them, not just Enma, which is fantastic to see. And I'm so excited to see what this is about. And it is time for the chapter review. And this is my favorite part. Because you know how I was talking about the ranking systems beforehand? This is a 9 out of 10. Now, there was only one thing wrong with this chapter, and even then, you kind of needed it. It was how King's race was explained. But then again, that was really good. It's just the way it was explained was kind of bad, because the momentum kicked off by Sanji's battle against Queen was halted, along with Zoro's fight against King was also halted. Now, I couldn't see any other way to do it, and it's probably better that it was Queen rather than some random guy talking about it, but to hear about Lunarians and how they were basically the old gods, they were the gods before the celestial dragons, which, really does boost it shows why they refer to themselves as gods, because they killed the other race or made them go extinct, the race before them that were being labeled as gods. And now this opens up a whole new bat of questions, like them being tied to the ancient kingdom, and what's gonna happen to them, and when is it gonna happen. And also, this will probably not be explained too much by King because he's not a very talkative person. So a lot of people have been speculating that we're not going to find this out until after Wano, which, is kind of sad. But hey, what are you going to do, right? And I'm just happy that we're getting more new Lunarian lore, because it's just fantastic what Oda is doing with it, and I really appreciate all the little bits, because then that means once you have the full picture, you can sort of read back through the chapters and see and dissect the dialogue to get even more information out of it. So in other words, it's going to inform us at the end, most likely, but then we're going to be able to get even more information after rereading it, which is great because I guarantee you once Wano ends, everyone is going to reread it because it was just that good. So as I've been talking, the one problem I just stated about Sanji and Queen wasn't really bad at all. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. So everyone, that wraps up my weekly One Piece review. Sorry about this being a combined review. I'll try to get them separately this time. It's just I was on a little bit of a crunch. Plus I got One Punch Man coming out, which I'm also going to need to work on. Also, my Hero review has been corrupted multiple times, so I've been trying really hard to work with it. But it should come out soon, so you're just going to get a bombardment of all this stuff. So, everyone, like, comment, and share if you think anyone else would like this video. And yeah, peace out, boys. Have a great day.